and just in general, like there's so much fear. I feel like obviously faith over fear is like much easier said than done, but I feel like this age is such a test of that. Oh my gosh, like it would be so easy for me to say like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna like take off school, just work and stack up my money, and life will be fine. Like, and life would totally be fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But this is the path that I chose, and I want to continue to believe in myself on that path. But it does get more and more difficult, especially when I've already changed something for it and that one didn't work out. So it's like now I'm changing again. Like, is this one gonna work? Like, I hope it's gonna work. I'm sure it will work out. Everything will work out in the grand scheme of things. But there is something so scary about, or so intimidating, scary, or it's just a hard pill to swallow when you have like such a specific map of your life when you're like 18 and and things just don't go as planned, and then you have to hear, or and there's nothing better to say, it's the best thing you can say to comfort someone, I'll admit, but you hear like, oh, everyone's life path is different, because it almost feels like confirmation, like, yeah, your plan didn't work, like you need to figure out something else, like this is not, maybe you thought this was going to work, but that's not for everybody and it's clearly not for you, and but there's really nothing better to say. That is something that we have to deal with, and I kind of always like brushed that off, never really took that seriously, and say, oh yeah, everybody's life path is different, not mine though. That's literally how I was for such a long time, like, yeah, not mine, like I'm gonna get done the exact way that I want it, and that's not true, and now I'm dealing with the reality of that, and that's okay. But I'm going to be switching schools for the second time now. The first time was not because I failed or out of a program or anything. It was just because that school, I didn't go there. I didn't initially choose nursing when I went there, and they didn't have that major. This school, I'm no longer eligible for their program, so I have to go somewhere else. But it is difficult, and it has been difficult this past year, because I just like, not that I felt lost, but it just felt so scary. Like, is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? And then I found out the semester before this past spring semester that I was ineligible for the program, but I couldn't switch schools immediately. And then for the past like 6 months or so, I've just been like, what am I doing with my life? Which I feel like is such an early 20s, 20-year-old, or maybe even later 20s, like mindset to have, like, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. What am I doing with my life? Oh my gosh, nothing is happening. I'm like, and I really have to stop and give myself credit, because there's times when I'm like, I want to be sad, but I literally don't have time because I'm doing all of this stuff. And then in the same breath, I'll be like, and the whole reason I'm sad is because I'm not doing enough. Like, I can't win with myself. And I hate that. I hate how pessimistic I can be about stuff like that, or how much I'm willing to discredit myself. Because if I was to see somebody else do everything I was doing, I would be like, wow, you go, girl. Like, you are doing so much. You're doing so well. But for me, it's like, oh no, I need to be doing more. Like, I don't know. I hold myself to such a high standard, which I think is a blessing and a curse, because obviously I want to accomplish great things, and it has allowed me to accomplish like really amazing things. But also, I do think I would accomplish a lot more if I gave myself the credit I deserved. And I feel like, I don't think it's a me thing, but I think it's really common in my age group, in our age group, to just like not appreciate yourself for what you're doing. And that's something that I want to work on, but also every time that I'm like, oh my gosh, no, so give yourself credit, I'm like, for what? Like, that's literally how it feels sometimes. And I don't know, like, I wouldn't call this an advice video, because clearly I haven't figured it out. So maybe don't listen to me, I don't know. But self-doubt can be so crippling, not to abuse the word crippling, but self-doubt can really be so crippling, because it's like, if you don't believe in yourself, literally who is going to, like, there's family members that I have that are telling me that I can't do the career path that I'm doing. And it's like, I chose nursing as my career path. That's not an easy path. I don't know why nurses don't really get as much credit, I feel like they started to get a little bit more credit after the pandemic, but in general, still, I feel like they, especially nursing majors, don't get a lot of credit. um And there's people in my life that are like, oh, I don't think that's right for you, or I don't think you're going to succeed in this. And it's like, that's really the last thing you want to hear from somebody. Is you're already dealing with your own amount of self doubt, and then people are telling you on top of that, like, we don't think you can do it. And that is really scary. College has always been taught to me as like, or just your 18 to 21, 25, 20 area in general has always been told to me as like, oh, this is the time to figure out what you want in life. Like, this is the time to explore yourself. But now I'm a junior in college and I have not just me, like, I actually have a surprising amount of friends who are like, I don't like my major, but I'm going to stick with it and graduate. Or who are like, oh, I'm going to switch my major now, even though like we're 3 years deep, 3 out of 4 years deep. And I had a big conflict with my major as well. I think a lot of it did have to do with self-doubt, but a lot of it also had to do with I'm just a person with a lot of passions and I've had more exposure to other passions in my life than I have to the medical field. The medical field is like this is kind of a new ballpark, but I know that I can do it, but I also know that the medical field isn't for everybody and I'm going off of what I feel instead of what I've been doing. So once you finally get to that point in like 18, 19, like your underclassmen years, I guess maybe everybody was right. I shouldn't have chosen a major so early, but I'm gonna stick with it because I really think that I have a future in this. But me and my homegirls are like, damn, we should have chose something else. This also doesn't only apply to like changing your major. I feel like this is just a time of realizing your plan might just be different or like what you want out of life might have changed or might have just become different. Because it's like, ugh, like, and then I've put in so much work towards this already, so now it's really like, okay, I'm not giving up on that, but it feels like changing my mind now would put me so far behind, and I don't know what type of like race I'm on where I feel like I'm behind in anything, but it does feel like it's a setback instead of like some type of self-development. I have met some amazing people, and being in my 20s has definitely taught me people have come and go. I've sometimes been the person that came and went in people's lives, but everyone's life path is different. And there are so many different people that I know personally that have like 1,000 different lives or just have such a different life from me. Like people with kids, people with like multiple degrees, people who just chose to stop after high school and are still doing fine for themselves. Like on all of them are doing okay. Also, life happens. Life literally happens. And I feel like a lot of growing up, I was a little bit unempathetic to the fact that life happens until I grew up and it happened to me. And I was like, okay, I get it now why things don't always go as planned. But everything is going to work out. So there's really nothing to be afraid of in the grand scheme of things. I feel like I'm using that a lot. There's really nothing to be afraid of overall. But I just wanted to make a video to see, like, not to see, but because I know I can't be the only one feeling like this, like, feeling like this amount of fear and instability, I guess, um, about your early 20s and about, like, if everything is going to work out and all that. And it's really easy to obsess over your life path, especially when you thought you're the type of person where you thought it was gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna do this and 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 everything's gonna work out. Not everything goes like that. Then I hate to break it to you, or at least not everything went like that for me. It has taught me like to really appreciate the friendships that last because sometimes it's not even like a beef or a falling out or anything. It's just that proximity changes and life changes so frequently and it can all happen so fast. So like people that you might have talked to every day, you just won't connect with again like that. And it's really just taught me to appreciate who I'm around and what I have because this stuff is not permanent all the time, bro. I promise you it's not permanent all the time. Like in the blink of an eye, things have been changing nonstop and things have gone better, things have gone worse. But overall, it's taught me to just be grateful in the moment. Hopefully, one person out there related, somebody related, I don't know. I hope the girls can relate to this because if not, also this was like way more vulnerable. That's why I'm fidgeting so much because this was like way more vulnerable because this is something that I'm going through right now. Whereas like the whitewash video and even the other one about being like a shy black girl have I've been like I've been doing this. I've been getting called all of that stuff. Like I know that, but this is like my own personal demons that I'm fighting, that I'm going through right now. Like I'm 20 right now. So I thought that it would help somebody out there, and it helps me to talk about it. I mean, okay, that was kind of cringe, but like the video, please.